We are ready for the first game of the first round of this season's Emirates FA Cup. The teams are on their way out. Salford have a sellout ground here. There are millions watching at home and millions around the world. Let's introduce you to your commentary team tonight. It's Jermaine Genus and first up, Steve Bower.
Thanks, Dan. Good evening. Welcome to Moor Lane. Such talk about this night, so eagerly anticipated. And can Salford provide the end result? They've never seen a crowd quite like this. Their last league attendance was just over 400. Tonight, over 1,400 are here to see if Salford can produce the shock. Their biggest night in their 75-year history. A club who didn't even compete in the FA Cup till 1990 now have the chance to write their headlines. As far as Notts County are concerned, they are determined not to be part of them, of course. The world's oldest club to be playing professionally are hoping for less drama and a professional night's work. Jay Lynch is the man that Notts County will have to beat. He was formerly Manchester United and Bolton Academy. Steve O'Halloran in the back four for Salford City is a former Republic of Ireland international. Lewis Hardcastle in midfield is on a youth loan from Blackburn Rovers. And Danny Webber is the joint top scorer. Over 220 games in the top two flights of English football. Alongside him, James Poole, once of Manchester City. He scored the wonder goal to beat Southport in the fourth qualifying round to make tonight possible. Familiar face in the Notts County goal. It is a former FA Cup winner, the Northern Ireland international Roy Carroll, who's 38 now. Alan Sheehan at centre-half is on loan from Bradford. He was part of their squad that knocked Chelsea out last season. Alan Smith has played in an FA Cup final, his final game for Manchester United. And plenty of firepower up front for Notts County. John Stead, who got 5 goals in the competition for Bradford last season, alongside Isel McLeod, the former Crawley striker, who cost £150,000 in the summer. A couple of familiar surnames amongst the substitutes for Salford City tonight as well, with famous fathers. Number 16, Tunji Moses, the son of former Manchester United and West Brom midfielder Remy. And Chris Sharp, recently signed, wearing 19, is the son of a former FA Cup winner, the former Everton striker Graham. Well, Gary Neville talking about the importance of the referee tonight. It is a Football League One, Andy Madley, whose brother Bobby is a Premier League official. Andy is a Premier League assistant, and he was at Wembley as recently as May to officiate the League One playoff final. Roy Carroll, who came on in 2004 for Manchester United to win the FA Cup, is the Notts County captain. Chris Lynch is a gas engineer who works nights, who leads Salford City on their potentially historic night. Danny Webber, the most experienced player in the Salford lineup. Jonathan Stead was the joint top scorer in the FA Cup competition last season with 5 goals. But before we have the drama, we do have a minute's silence in respect of those who died fighting for their country. moment has finally arrived for Salford City, currently 4th in the Northern Premier League Premier Division, against Notts County, 15th in League 2. 59 places between them in the footballing pyramid. But one game, one night could change all that. That is certainly Salford's aim. The first time they have competed in the FA Cup first round. It is Salford in the red and white colours, of course, that the class of '92 the owners changed after they bought the club from Tangerine, who get us off and underway. And immediately the ball is aimed towards Danny Webber. Managed to get it across as well. And he began his career at Manchester United. And that is a throw to Notts County. Jermaine Genius, you've been on both sides of the coin, really, in this kind of situation.
Yeah, I have. It was a while ago, but I was playing for Newcastle United. We came up against Yeading, who was a non-league side at the time, and I understand kind of the situation that these Notts County players are in. You're almost kind of, you can't win. Everyone's expecting you to win this game, so there's a lot of pressure on their shoulders today. And Salford City, looking at them just from the start there, they look confident, they look up for it. So it was a good start.
That's forward by Howson, one of the two central defenders. Scott Burton, who'll be an important player in midfield for Salford City tonight. Stopforth. No way through for Jordan Hume. How important are the opening exchanges as well?
I was just about to say that. I mean, Salford have really settled well here. They've popped it around a couple of times. A lot of people would have expected them to maybe go long straight into Webber, who's the danger within this side, but they've settled well, not letting the occasion get to them too much at the minute. So, I think if they can continue that and not let Notts County get on top of them, then they'll grow into this game and gain more confidence the more they're playing. So, that's what I'm sure their manager would have asked them to do.
They do have to control their aggression tonight. That was Scott Burton.
They do. I think Gary Neville mentioned that at the start of the show, and the refereeing can be different at non-league level, but I'm sure again that they'd have been told that. They'd have been told that they need to maintain their discipline if they've got any chance of winning this game today.
Alan Sheehan on loan from Bradford for the free kick for Notts County. It's a harmless one. The Irishman who was part of that Bradford squad who won at Stamford Bridge, knocked out Chelsea last season. Ricardo Muniz is the Notts County manager, experiencing the FA Cup as a boss for the first time tonight. The Dutchman who arrived in early April couldn't keep Notts County in League One. He signed 21 players in the summer to try and change their fortunes. As I say, they're 15th in League 2 at the moment, 4 points off the playoffs. This is James Poole, the hero of the previous round. Shot blocked by Sheehan. Forward by Dawson, harmlessly into the arms of Roy Carroll.
I'll tell you one thing that stood out for me from that one little bit of play there is the amount of bodies that Salford almost risked into the attacking third. There must have been about 7 players at one point when that ball went forward. I mean, whether that's another style of play that they're going to bring into the game today, kind of get that ball forward, get bodies round, put Notts County under pressure, but it was, they're at home, they've got to go for it, so it's a nice tactic.
Anthony Johnson, one of the joint managers for Salford, the 33-year-old self-employed wagon driver, who is hoping to help lead Salford into the second round of the FA Cup. This is the 7th game Salford City have played in the FA Cup already this season. Needed a couple of replays in the qualifying rounds, and they very much want this journey to continue. Hume. Good work from Stopforth. Thierry Ordell, who has come in at left back for Notts County tonight. Nick Barmby's son Jack has been playing there in the last couple of games on loan from Leicester. A Frenchman restored to that back four. That's gone out on the fall.
I think Salford playing this 4-3-3 formation could really work for them. You know, they've made the pitches a lot tighter. You can tell that they don't want to give Notts County any space whatsoever, and that was an example there of Roy Carroll picking it up. Usually he'd be able to just play that out to the right back, who would probably put it in the channel, but because they've got the 3 players up top, it's not allowing them to do that, so it's putting Notts County under a lot more pressure.
This is Kyle Da Silva, recalled by Ricardo Meniz tonight. That's no problem whatsoever for Jay Lynch, who the 2 managers were telling me this week, Jermaine, won us the league last season. 22-year-old who was in Manchester United Academy, then went to Bolton. Was actually on the bench 3 times in the Premier League for Bolton Wanderers. That was a missed kick from Edwards.
I think it's important, you know, to make sure you've got a real strong foundation. You know, your back four and your goalkeeper, they're so important in any team, and I think at non-league level especially. I mean, the last thing you need in games is, you know, goalkeepers making too many mistakes, and Joe Lynch obviously didn't do that last season because got him promoted.
Gary Neville watching on, Nicky Butt just in front of him as well, and Paul Scholes in there as 2-3 of the 5 members of class of '92 able to attend tonight. Ryan Giggs watching from the Manchester United team hotel before they play West Brom tomorrow. Phil Neville watching from Vigo in Spain ahead of Valencia's game tomorrow. And those 5 have 16 FA Cup winners' medals between them.
It's not bad, is it?
Forward from Chris Lynch, the Salford captain. Aimed towards Jordan Hume. This is O'Halloran. And that will now come to Da Silva. Chance for him to stretch his legs for Notts County. McLeod, the referee, happy for play to continue. Abora. Now Liam Noble, the former Sunderland youngster. He's picked out Stead. No power generated in the end from John Stead. Jay Lynch has kept 5 clean sheets for Salford this season, including in the 4th qualifying round, crucially against the National League team Southport. Lynch. Good touch from Hardcastle. Cleared in no uncertain terms by Mike Edwards, who's actually Notts County's fitness and conditioning coach. Came back for a second spell last season. Wasn't supposed to be a permanent fixture, but due to their bad defensive record earlier in the season, he was called into action, and he's played the last 8 games.
That's some story, that, by the way, isn't it? I mean, fitness coach and player.
McLeod penalised.
Probably just lent on him a little bit too much. He's a big lad, eyes on McLeod, and he's going to be tough to handle today.
Didn't reach Webber. Cleared by Sheehan. In from McLeod. That's too strong for Stead. There was a deflection along the way. It'll be a Notts County corner. So the 3 owners who are able to attend are watching on anxiously. Gary Neville, incidentally, just as he did against Southport, has ordered the pitch to be narrowed here tonight at Moor Lane.
Look, you know, you do what you can to, you know, gain the advantage, and as long as it's well within the rules, which it is, you can't blame them for that.
Notts County corner, flicked on by Stead. Salford didn't clear it, and they were mightily relieved that that effort from Edwards went wide of the target.
Well, even for a centre-half, that was a very decent effort. You know, he had no right really to swivel on this and get the contact that he even got on the ball. It was bouncing around, but Oh, that was close. Thankfully for Salford, it just went wide of the post.
He's got 3 goals from defence since coming into the team. Mike Edwards.
Keeper's got absolutely no chance if that's on target.
That was a good effort from Jordan Hume. Just drifting wide from the 24-year-old.
That's a brilliant effort, you know. You know what he's done there really well, because he's took it so early. It's just caught Carroll off guard. He's probably expecting him to take a touch there, but because he's took it so early, he's struggling to get across there. Very unlucky. The technique to hit that first time is very good from him.
It's flicked on by Paul. It's aimed towards McLeod. And calmly watched by Chris Lynch. Not renowned for sitting down, the Salford managerial duo. It's fair to say Anthony Johnson there is the more vocal of the duo.
From what I've seen, he is anyway. I think we all see.
Don't think it's any huge secret. He wears his heart in his sleeve, but that passion and enthusiasm was what attracted the owners to appoint them last January. Hewitt's cross, blocked by Danny Webber, who'd gone all the way back. This is Burton.
Back to the management, though, Steve. I think, you know, it can come across like aggressive and loud and screaming and shouting, but the one thing that I picked up from the documentary from them both was they were very constructive in everything that they were saying, and you can tell why that's had a huge improvement on what's happened at Salford.
They've done their homework for this game in a very professional manner. They've watched DVDs from Notts County at length. Not sure where they got those from, but there's a lot of preparation in the professional manner gone in from Salford City. They do fancy that they can hurt Notts County, and that was the 17-year-old Lewis Hardcastle. Here's a chance for Hume. He's round the goalkeeper, and he can't take it. Jordan Hume.
You know, he does everything right. You know, a part of you is saying shoot, 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 but he takes his time, he's composed, but then just at that final hurdle, he just lost control of the ball. Instead of shooting, I think in his mind he wanted to go round the goalkeeper as well. He does everything right. The ball's bouncing around. This bit here is just brilliant. Composure, but he was just going to take it Ryan Carroll, and in the end, his touch got away from him. So unlucky. It's a brilliant chance, but you know, I would say that they need to be sticking those chances away usually, but they've started so well, Salford, that I feel like they're going to get more.
Well, Jordan Hume has 6 goals already this season. He was the first player ever that Salford City paid money for from Ramsbottom, from the managerial duo, their former club. Class of '92 paid £2,500 for his services, and then because they won the title had to pay another £2,500, so I think you can safely say he's their record buy.
They're going to have to get used to that, I think, putting their hands in the pocket, them lot.
De Silva for Notts County, away by Dawson. This is Hardcastle. Just 17 years of age on a youth loan from Blackburn Rovers. It was only supposed to be for a month, but he and Salford were desperate to extend it for a second month. And here he is playing in the FA Cup first round at the age of 17.
It says a lot about the lad as well, that does, Steve, you know, to say that he could have gone to Blackburn where it's nice, comfortable, all your home comforts. But he didn't. You know, he took it upon himself to say, you know, I want to better myself. I want to keep playing for Salford. I want to stay playing league football. And thankfully for Salford, he stayed, because he's obviously been an integral part of what they're doing this season.
Poole trying to create space. There are a few nerves back there for Notts County.
And rightly so. Every time Salford City go forward, I mean, they've got 4 or 5 players to deal with. And I mean, there's only a back 4 in there, so they're obviously outnumbered. And yeah, they're struggling with it. Salford are just a little bit of composure, and someone's going to get in soon.
Could it be now? It's the 17-year-old Hardcastle onto his left foot. Just couldn't generate the power. The player we were just talking about.
Good technical ability from this Hardcastle. Drags it onto his left foot. Just couldn't get the purchase on it that he needed. He needed to just put his foot through that a little bit more, but everything leading up to it, the composure, showing he can go by players. Just unlucky with the strike at the end.
First quarter of an hour. Salford will be very satisfied indeed.
100% they'll be satisfied. I mean, I think Notts County have changed their formation, to a 4-4-2. If I was the manager, I'd be reconsidering that as we speak.
Here comes Webber for Salford. Only one thing in his mind, Notts County got bodies in the way. This is Noble. Elliot Hewitt, the Welshman. Paul McLeod to chase. Howson has been penalised.
That's not a free kick for me. The amount of times this happens in a game, where his centre forward is going to come shoulder to shoulder with the centre half. I mean, just leans on him, goes over a little bit too easy. You could say that, that Howson went in a little bit too strong, but harsh that is for me.
Now, when Salford City trained for the last time this week, remember they only trained twice a week. On Wednesday evening, they spent an awful lot of time on defending set plays. They're aware of the danger that Notts County have in this kind of situation.
I think also the last thing you want to do is be playing so well and then begin conceding goals, for a set piece. That's why they've worked so hard on it this week.
Every player back to defend this. Salford, it's a deep one. Ordle with the header. Then Lynch, back in from Ordle. Hooked away by Stopforth. Long one from Elliot Hewitt. And Salford can try and build again. The early ball was aimed towards Poole. The Silva put under pressure. Noble for Notts County. This is Abora. Played in the Champions League at the age of 17 for Ajax. Stanley Abora. One of those 21 new players introduced in the summer for Notts County. Long from Sheehan, too long for John Stepp.
That's all because Salford are so organised. So organised, they're giving Notts County absolutely no options to be playing balls into midfield. They've got it boxed off. Danny Webber dropped into a 5 in the midfield along with Poole, and they left the 1 up top. They just left Notts County no options. I mean, Gary Neville mentioned at the start of the show about their fitness. If they can maintain this throughout the game, this is going to be a tougher game maybe than Notts County thought, because they're working so hard to close down these spaces that every time Notts County get the ball, they can't find anybody.
Webber will put Edwards under pressure here. It was good pressure too.
Isn't it? This all adds up. All this pressure adds up. The pressure builds. Notts County keep kicking the ball out of play. Salford City's confidence will grow, and the chances are going to keep coming.
Bernard Morley, the 31-year-old, the other half of the partnership. Plasterer by day, joint Salford City manager by night.
Angry partnership.
Howson. Burton is looking for Lynch. Chris Lynch, the captain. Salford born and bred. Probably mean more to him than anyone else if he could steer his team into the headlines this evening. Forward by Burton. Stead. Another Notts County corner. Once again, everybody from Salford City trots back to defend this. Notts County, incidentally, who haven't won away from home in their last 9 games. That was inviting. It was well defended by Hugh. Still isn't clear, though. Edwards got a touch and then hammered clear by Scott Burton for Salford. Back from Hewitt. Good knockdown. Well read by Jay Lynch, the Salford goalkeeper.
That's going to happen at times for Salford. You know, they've got 2 big lads up front, Notts County, and Isaac McLeod and John Stead, and they're just going to have to be aware of the second ball sometimes. Those midfielders especially are just going to have to help out, get onto those centre forwards' toes, try and read those second balls and help out at times.
Ord. Sheehan. Ordle is away from Lynch. And both McLeod and Stead were waiting. Oh, it was fantastic recovery.
Absolutely brilliant from
Howson.
Absolutely brilliant. I mean, I think John Stead's thinking this is a tap-in. Absolute tap-in.
Now, Jordan Hume at the other end, up against Edwards. Fairly routine in the end for Roy Carroll.
Yeah, it was, and it was one end to the other. I mean, the defender, who was it? It was, I think it was Howson at the back for Salford City. It was, I mean, an absolutely brilliant clearance. And then at the other end, Hume, I just think if he just has a little bit more composure and a bit more belief in himself, his touch wasn't great, but if he just shifted it a little bit more to the right-hand side, he'd been able to get a better strike on the ball.
Well, Salford thought that had gone out. There's no flag. Here's Stead. Foul by Nigel McLeod. Well, action at both ends here.
As this ball comes in, actually I think it's O'Halloran. Yes, it is, it's O'Halloran. What a clearance that is. I mean, and then at the other end, this is what I'm talking about. You could feel he just lost belief in himself there. He wasn't prepared to kind of work a little bit harder and shift it back onto his left-hand side maybe.
It's cut out by Scott Burt. Another one to follow the managers from Ramsbottom. He's picked out Webber. 34 next month, Danny Webber. Couldn't get past Elliot Hewitt on that occasion.
One thing Salford are going to have to be careful about is when you play that 4-3-3 formation, the fullbacks for Notts County are very dangerous. It's difficult for your midfield to get all the way across, and I think we've seen some in the early stages. You know, first on the other side with Hewitt, who looks like he's got some legs in him, and then Ordell just got down this other side here and put in a great ball. It's just something that Salford are going to have to be aware of throughout this game.
Thierry Ordell, who reached the 4th round of this competition as a non-league player with Macclesfield a couple of seasons ago, who scampered down the left-hand side to good effect there for Notts County. Stopforth. Good work from Poole. Still going, James Poole, hero of the last round. Free kick. That was a committed challenge from Steve Howson. This is noble for Notts County. It could be problematic for Salford. Cleared by Lynch. Picked up by Alan Smith. Good work then from Burton. Webber. Lovely skill from him. And then 2 tackles, one from Ordell, and then one from Jordan Hume, neither of which, incidentally, the referee Andy Manley had any problem with.
But I'm absolutely glad he didn't. Brilliant tackles, both of them. I mean, that's a fair tackle for me. He's won the ball, he's gone for the ball, just fully committed, and there was one at the start as well, with, I think it was Dawson at the centre half, comes flying in, fully committed. I mean, this is what the FA Cup's about. tackles like that. I mean, no wonder these people are coming down to Salford every week to watch non-league football. It's brilliant.
In particular to a throwback. Steady's offside. .32 now. John Stead, man you've played against in your career.
Yeah, not happy memories actually. He was on for a draw, I think it was, at Ewood Park one. Well, I think it was his debut as well. He just came out of the lower leagues and had got his big move to Blackburn, and yeah, he came on and got the winner in about the 93rd minute. So yeah.
Apologies for reminding you that.
Thanks for bringing that up, pal. Yeah.
Again, McLeod, the offender. Babs's Cafe has been doing extra business tonight. In fact, they've had to at least treble the normal catering orders.
I put my order in for a pie at half-time.
I know you have.
Yeah, I have, yeah.
You're an athlete, you're allowed to.
Well, yeah.
Hardcastle's free kick. Howson couldn't get any connection on it. Cleared by Ordle. Very calmly dealt with by Gary Stopforth. He was at Blackburn's academy until the age of 18. Stopforth. The managers and subsequently players recommended by the chairperson Karen Bird, who does a sterling job at Salford City. It's her recommendation that Anthony Johnson and Bernard Morley were appointed to the owners. It's not looking a bad recommendation either.
It's looking like a fantastic recommendation. They've had to make some difficult decisions, as we saw in the documentary. You know, the lads from the class of '92, and these are things I'm sure they're going to be coming up against, you know, throughout the progression of what they're trying to achieve. So it was brilliant to bring them in at the time they did.
Well, we talked about Salford's potential discipline. The first name in the referee's book is a Notts County player, Isel McLeod. Chris Lynch, the Salford skipper, with the free kick. It's one in the air by Alan Smith. Stopforth's cross. And the foul on Abora.
Another thing I've really liked about Salford is sometimes when you watch these ties, and you know, they're almost David and Goliath ties, we're expecting all kinds of things to happen. It doesn't usually happen until like the last 10 minutes, and you think, why didn't you start playing like that, you know, earlier on in the game? Why didn't you put them under more pressure then? They've done it from day one. Any opportunity they've had to put the ball in the box and put Notts County under pressure, they've done it. Just need to get rewarded for it now.
There's McLeod, who goes down again. His yellow card incidentally for persistent fouling, which might worry a few of the Salford players throughout the evening. And here come the team from the Northern Premier League Premier Division again. Webber is onside. Poole and Hume waiting in the middle. Still Webber. O'Halloran. And Salford have their corner.
I have to say, Danny Webber's been a thorn in Notts County's side for the start of this first 45 minutes. He's made all kinds of runs. He's been tracking back, running into the channels. That was a fantastic run he's just made there. It was unfortunate. You could tell what he was trying to do. He wants to cut inside onto his right foot and get a shot off, but Hewitt read the situation. But those constant runs that he's making, Notts County just can't deal with.
Webber himself is going to deliver Salford's first corner of the cup tie. Can it be a productive one? Right on top of Roy Carroll. No problems for the Northern Ireland international. Edwards. Heavy touch from Burton. invited the challenge from Alan Smith, and he has never in his career refused that particular invitation.
Definitely not. Definitely not. You can tell he actually enjoyed it. I think he had a smile on his face when he went in for that.
35 last month. Got back in the Notts County team in September. He's been there ever since. They've had a decent amount of possession, Salford City.
They have, and to be honest with you, I had to guess. I wouldn't have guessed that Notts County have had more possession. They've definitely not had the better possession. You know, it's not been as productive. They might have passed it around the back a lot more, but Salford have definitely looked more dangerous.
Here's the first long throw of the evening from Hewitt. Flicked on by Edwards, watched all the way by Dawson. Now there might be a Salford opportunity to break. But Roy Carroll had read that situation.
Got a little throw of his arm there, I think, Roy Carroll. Not too happy about that late challenge.
Didn't like the challenge from Jordan Hume. A little bit of smoke in the corner on the far side.
Thought that was my half-time pie. Gone then.
Not with the new kitchen Gary Neville paid for now.
Definitely not.
Hardcastle. Steve O'Halloran, who began his career at Aston Villa, won 2 Republic of Ireland caps at left back. One of their managers telling me earlier in the week that it's rather strange sometimes when he shouts instructions on and he answers back and he thinks, hang on, he's played international football, I'm telling him what to do.
Yeah, that must be a little bit weird. That's half the reason he's on the pitch, you know. You can get caught up, I imagine, as a manager, screaming and shouting, but he knows what he's doing. That's why he's played at the level he has done before.
Recently played in the Championship for Coventry as well. Still only 27. Now a qualified physio in Manchester hospitals.
You can imagine the build-up all week for these Salford City lads, can't you? I mean, going into work, thinking you've got the big FA Cup game televised on Friday night. You know, your mates kind of know they're going to be watching and stuff. I mean, that's why I've been so impressed by them, to be honest with you, because they've managed to kind of...
There's the cross, headed away by Sheehan. Well, Scott Burton was dreaming of the fairy tale moment there.
He was, yeah. What I was saying was they've managed to, you know, calm their expectations and play a real kind of professional way, and you can tell that they've been well drilled and not been overawed by the occasion.
Remember, it's a huge FA Cup weekend across the BBC. Football Focus comes live from Wealdstone FC tomorrow. That's with Dan from 12:10 on Saturday. You can keep up to date with all the scores on the red button throughout the afternoon as well. Burton and Howson got in each other's way. No problems for Jay Lynch. He has played in the Football League with Accrington. Still harbours ambitions of playing there again.
It was a simple pass, that, as well. He didn't need to... I know it bobbled up a little bit, but if he takes more care with it, I think your eyes on McLeod was in, one-on-one with the keeper.
Despite the appeals, that's Notts County's throw. Arrive here tonight unbeaten in 4 league games, which is their best run since Ricardo Muniz took charge. Ordle. Now challenged by Burton, who in his own words does love a tackle. Scott Burton. Really good tackle again, O'Halloran. Poole. Salford throw.
I have to say, we've seen some absolutely unbelievable tackles in today's game. It's an art that's kind of gone out of the game. Thankfully, tonight we've got a ref who's, you know, he's seeing that they're not dangerous, that he's fully committed, and he's allowing play to go on.
Hume kept it in. Stopforth was a player with great energy. He's then looking for the free kick. It wasn't forthcoming.
think he's been watching the Premier League a bit too much.
De Silva improvised quickly. Here's Smith.
When you look at Notts County here, they've got nothing in the middle to build it up, so their only option is to do that, is to go long. The wide players go and play right up against the centre forwards, and the midfielder just left bare. They need to somehow find a way, if they're going to get back in this game, of developing some more passes in that midfield area and bringing the players into play.
There's a touch of class from Webber and quick thinking. He set in Hardcastle. He went for goal himself. The teenager ignored the claims of Hume and Poole.
It was unlucky. Great bit of play from Danny Webber, I have to say. Quick thinking, gets the ball out to him early doors. Can't fault him here for having a goal. He's got to have a strike at goal. I didn't see any really clear options for him to square it across the box. The only thing you would say is maybe try and get that across the goal. Get that across the goal, keeper parries it out and you'll have options, but good play from Hardcastle.
It's a 17-year-old again. Paul looking for Webber. Tremendous header from Chris Lynch. Stopforth. Salford sensing that this is a good spell. Can they make it count? Calmly done by Ordle. Stead was held back there. You know, Halloran knows what's coming.
He does. I mean, usually you'd say that wasn't a bad foul, because I think John Stead was in there. It was a decent little bit of skill for him to let the ball go, and he was getting himself into a dangerous position, so it's allowed Salford to get back into their shape and keep that goal protected, but at the same time, you know, there's a long way to go on a yellow card for a defender.
So the first Salford name in the book is that of the Irishman. Aim to Stead. Under the challenge of Chris Lynch. Abora. Hewitt. And the goalkeeper just had to keep his eye on that.
Did a good job as well. Did a very good job. At one point he thought that might be sneaking in, but he had it covered. He knew what was going on. Yeah, as we can see here, I mean, the floodlight's obviously right in his eyes as well, but does really well. No problem there whatsoever.
Lynch again with the powerful header. It's a challenge that Kyle De Silva has stayed down after. To say he's an uncompromising defender, Chris Lynch, is perhaps something of an understatement.
And that's two that De Silva's had to take. I mean, he's fully committed, Chris Lynch, and again the referee's allowed it to go on, but I don't see De Silva going up for too many more of them tonight.
McLeod using his strength, this time fairly. Stead waiting in the penalty area. He couldn't get any contact.
There wasn't much John Stead could do with that, to be honest with you. I mean, it looked dangerous initially from Isaiah McLeod, but as he cuts in onto his left-hand side, as we'll see here, he does well to win it. And as he comes inside, you think, I don't know, just try and find your partner. Don't just lash it across the box kind of hopelessly. I mean, I don't know what he expects John Stead to do with that.
Salford throw. Ricardo Muniz looking a little anxious. Somebody you know well from his time at Tottenham with Martin Jol.
I do, yeah. You know, Martin Jol brought him in as a skills coach, actually, which was a bit of a weird job title at the time, but...
Here's Webber. Lynch the chance to cross. Wasn't what he intended.
But he used to do some decent work. He used to do a lot of work with Edgar Davids and a lot of his midfielders, some one-on-one stuff. It was fun, a lot of fun, and you knew he had a lot of interest in the game and knew he'd gone on to management as well.
Stopforth. Poole. Patient from Salford City. Into Webber. And that was looking for Hume. Didn't quite come off for Danny Webber. Back in again by O'Halloran. Lynch attacking it. There's another crunching challenge from the Salford skipper. That was aimed towards Lynch again. Well, let me tell you, Chris Lynch.
Yeah.
Salford born and bred. He's a gas engineer who works permanent nights. The managers were telling me sometimes when they have a midweek game, he hasn't even got time for a shower. He dashes straight to work. And on a Saturday game, if they've got an away game, he's only had a couple of hours sleep. And the two managers said most of the time he's still man of the match. He's the current player's player of the year.
Well, that's just brilliant. Absolutely phenomenal. And makes you feel bad when you hear certain players talking about tiredness, doesn't it? There's nothing going on there. I mean, it's an intense game. There's a lot of tackles going on, but you know, back to Chris Lynch. I mean, that's just the level of commitment that these managers and the lads are asking for, and that's exactly why he's captain. He's obviously the example for all these players to live up to.
I trust he's got tonight off. Surely his boss has allowed him that.
The way he's playing, he might need a pay rise as well.
Challenged by Poole. Hardcastle. Jordan Hume was trying to stay onside. He's being chased by Alan Smith. He didn't get there, Smith. It's still alive with Stopforth. Salford continue to press here. O'Halloran's cross. Headed away by Ordle. Lynch thought about the challenge. It's broken to Hardcastle. Poole. Good try.
Great play that from Poole. Such awareness around him of what's going on when that ball comes into him. He knows already that he's got the space to turn to get it onto his favourite left foot. We'll see here as the ball comes in. Turn. So unlucky. So unlucky. Good bit of play. He's shone today in this first half, Poole has. He's got real quality.
The owners are kicking every ball tonight.
Yeah, the lads thought it was in. Bit scosy.
Your former England teammates, as I say, willing that ball into the back of the net. Poole foul. Wanted to take the free kick quickly. At the moment, Notts County will be happy for half-time.
Well, definitely, you mentioned earlier about that pressure building and Salford sensing blood. I mean, I feel they'll be disappointed almost. They played so well, but to be going in at half-time and not one up, it'd be really tough for them to take, and hopefully they can stay positive because they've been absolutely brilliant for this first 42 minutes.
Lynch with the free kick. Too strong for Howson. He felt he was having his shirt pulled. The referee didn't.
You know what, it's not just endeavour and work rate and commitment. There's levels of quality in there as well. They've popped it around. When they get it in and around the box, they try and work it at times. Just need to maybe tweak that level of finishing up a little bit, that level of quality, and they'll get that goal.
Ricardo Maniz there, the Notts County manager, looking at his watch. Here's Webber. Forward from Hewitt. Lynch. So desperate to get the challenge in again. It's a free kick to Notts County.
Well, it's a very important part now of the game. Salford need to switch on here, get tuned in. All this arguing needs to stop. Let's get back into your shape and make sure you don't concede at this point in the game. It's not a foul either. It's not a foul. It's a brilliant challenge. He's come on the right side of him, won the ball cleanly. Don't need to be given that as a foul.
Not only a foul, but a yellow card for Scott Burton.
It's a poor decision. I mean, the ref's had a good game so far, but I think if he sees that one again, he'd be disappointed.
Jay Lynch organising his wall in the Salford goal. The final minute of normal time at the end of the first half. Liam Noble, the joint top scorer with it, straight against that wall. Edwards. He fouled Burton. It's a sore one for the Salford player as well. Meanwhile, this is James Poole. Switching play to O'Halloran. Flicked in by O'Halloran. Just the 1 minute of time to add on at the end of the first game of the first round proper of this season's FA Cup. The silver. McLeod. Terrific defending from Howson.
Brilliant composure. He's under so much pressure there. I think you could feel the anxiety in the stadium, and he just completely nullified it. Stayed on his feet, watched the ball, and won it at the perfect time.
Quietly confident that they could ask Notts County some questions.
Rightly so, you know, rightly so. I mean, they'll be delighted with the first 45 minutes that these lads have put in. They've worked hard, they've shown levels of quality, missed a great chance early doors, and should be one up, should be at least be one up. But there's so many positives to take into the second half for these lads. They look fit, they look strong, and Notts County are second best at the minute, so he'll be absolutely delighted with what I see.
Jordan Hume probably with the best opportunity. Salford have risen to the occasion. They just haven't got the goal to show for it at the break. At the end of the first 45 minutes down, it's Salford City 0, Notts County 0.
So there you go, a big Friday night in the FA Cup. Thank you, gentlemen. We'll be with you for the second half shortly. Notts County 59 places above Salford City, but not much difference so far tonight in that first half. It's been tight, chances at both ends. But the class of 92, I think, will be pretty happy with 0-0 at the break. It's been physical as well. 3 yellow cards so far, but at half-time there is everything to play for. Smiles from Gary Neville and from Nicky Butt as well. Let's bring in Ian Wright and Trevor Sinclair. Been watching that right at pitch side here at Moor Lane. Ian Wright, that was a fascinating first half. No goals, but Salford City well in this game.
Absolutely. I think they've been better in every department, really. I think the one disappointing thing is that I don't think the crowd realise how much their team's on top in this game. They just need a little bit more from them. But I think the chances that Salford have had, they deserved it. But Trev, I don't think that Notts County are up for it at all. I think this is a massive opportunity for Salford.
Yeah, well, the 50-50 balls all over the park. Salford have won. They look hungrier. We're anticipating where the ball's going to drop down because they're playing a long ball. And I think they've been the better side. And Notts County are going to go in there. I'm sure they're going to get a dressing down off the manager.
It's impressive that they look so comfortable on this occasion. I know we said that they didn't expect them to be overawed beforehand, but there's been none of that at all.
Absolutely not. I think they've had 7 or 8 chances to Notts County's 1 chance. I think if the finishing was a bit better, and it needs to be when you're on top like this, you need to finish your chances. They've not done that, and they might regret that in the second half.
Well, let's talk through some of those chances. We'll start with Jordan Hume. I mean, he's the first player they've paid money for. They paid $2.5 grand for him, and he had 3 good chances and 1 particularly good chance in this first half, right?
Well, I think that the first one, I think it might be it was a snapshot. You can see the bodies that they're doing, because what they're doing, Joe, they seem to be getting the ball up there and they're getting bodies around it. And I think this is a great opportunity. Maybe, if you're being autocritical, maybe you could really try and lift it and outside of the foot so you can get it to dip over the keeper. But, that's kind of something that I'm most worried. But I think he's done everything right there. This one, I think he should have taken his opportunity to shoot a lot earlier than he did. He's tried to make sure. Sometimes in a game like this, you're feeling like, I just want to make sure and get it done. There, he had his opportunity to shoot, and then in the end, he's seen he ain't going to get that time.
And one more, we'll see this one as well, Trevor.
Yeah, he never quite gets wrong side of the defender, hits the target, he works the keeper, but it's not a powerful enough shot. Just going back to the last one, I think the toe peck was on. He was nice and composed in the box, which you like to see, but he needed to toe peck it.
It was the one.
Interesting watching with these two at the side. Both of them said toe poke quite loudly at that point. You said they had their chances. Lewis Hardcastle, again, another man who had a series of chances in the game as well. Really, they should be ahead.
They should be, and that's the problem. Again, a long ball, they're going direct, they're getting bodies around it, like Righty said. For me, they're a bit hungrier there. They're anticipating it, getting on the ball first. Opens up really good feet from the player there, and just a weak shot at the end of it, which is such
just
a shame.
A little bit behind him. He's great feet there, but you can see it there. He's just trying to reach it, and he's not quite got it. So, like I say, they've hit the target with him, but.
I like that. Danny Webber holds it up really well, but he's so alive to take the free kick early. Notts County in big trouble straight away. Gets it out of his feet. Anything, me and Wright were saying, anything across the keeper there, especially through his legs there, he could be massively in trouble, the goalkeeper.
Got to be aiming, for me, just aiming for the big side of the goal there, Dan.
Let's go inside the Salford dressing room. Do you think they'll be pretty happy in there, the two guys, Anthony Johnson and Bernard Moore? There's no ranting and raving going on.
They might be happy, but I'm not sure whether there's going to be any ranting and raving. We were talking before, but as they go in, it's one of them reverse psychology. You go in and you say they're there for the taking, that's not good enough, or you go in and say well done. I reckon they'll go for the former.
Just in case you're wondering, Notts County weren't keen on having a camera in their dressing room at half-time. Probably a good idea, because they will be getting a bit of a dressing down.
I think they should do, yeah. I think that the two front men, I know they've had a couple of slim chances, but I think the two front have been very disappointing.
Let's have a look at this. This is Mike Edwards, and the one occasion in the 45, Trevor, where they gave Notts County players a bit too much space in the box.
Yeah, a little bit fortuitous. It bounces really kindly for him. He's not really got the ball under control there. It falls from him, it's a snapshot, and if that's on target, the keeper gets nowhere near it. They got away with that one, Salford. I think they deserve that, to be fair, because they've been the better team. They've competed all over the field, and I think if you ask the manager, he'd just be happy that they're in it. The longer the game goes, the more they'll grow in confidence, Salford. And I think it's going to be an interesting second half.
Great play from the left back. Great spin on his player, what he had in front of him.
Reverse movement.
Steve O'Halloran there with the touch
exactly,
away.
but the free there, Trevor, was fantastic defending. Super ball.
So they're playing well. And remember when we spoke to Gary Neville before the game, he said he was worried a little bit about the physicality. But the referee has actually let quite a lot go, hasn't he, Andrew Madley? Let's have a look at some of the tackles, because it's been fruity on both sides.
This is what the Eagles think's all about. This is grassroots football. It's.
I think that they're right as well to do that, Salford, because like I say, Notts County don't look up for it, and Salford go into those challenges, they won't be up for it even more. They've won all of those, and I think the referee's done pretty well to let some of them go.
Yeah, I think Jono and Bernard will be very happy with the commitment of the players going into these challenges. It's one of them who wants it more, and at the moment, in that first half especially, Salford players definitely want it more than Notts County. I hope they can nick a goal, because I think that it's got to get the crowd going for a start, and plus I think they deserve it. And you look at Notts County, you feel that they've got to do more than they're doing. So they need to get that goal sooner rather than later. Just to add to that, my fear, second half, some of them lads at Salford have been to work today. Are they going to start to tire? It's going to be an interesting thing to look at.
There can be so much to watch in the second half. We're hoping for some magic in the first round this weekend. There was a bit of that at Salford's training ground this week. Have a look at this. We sent along Britain's Got Talent finalist, Jamie Raven.
How do you pull off an FA Cup giant killing? Like the perfect illusion, it takes a lot of practice, some talent, the odd trip, and suddenly the impossible becomes reality.
Lovely to meet you. Very simple game. Could you do me a favour? Could you have a look through these for me? I've just opened them. I just need you to make sure you're happy. They're all different. Would that be okay? Have a look through them for me. Are you happy? If you're happy, I'm happy. Brilliant. Here's the game. I just need you to say stop whenever you feel the urge. That's the card we're going to go with. Just say stop for me. Stop. Brilliant. If you could have a look at that for me. Don't show me. Please show all the guys. They can all join in. And then if you could, buddy, just say stop somewhere near the middle for me. We'll put it back wherever you like. Stop. Brilliant. If you could back there. Guys, just check two things for me. Number one, I haven't moved anything else. Number two, that is the same one, gents, yeah? Guys, I'm not going to lie to you. I can find this with my eyes shut. I'm not going to find this. Buddy, you are. How good is your magic these days?
Terrible.
No problem. Touch me. We'll fix that. All right, give me a number. Bigger than 12, smaller than 45. Whatever you say, I'm going to cut to. I'm going to spin it out. Hopefully it'll be the right card.
22.
Do you want to stick with 22? It's your choice. Guys, 22 on the bottom is here. One out like a little helicopter. Through there, my friend. What card did you choose? What was it? The 6 of Hearts. Perfect. Now, the problem with this, guys, I'll show you. There's an old saying that the hand is quicker than the eye. That's what I do. I use my hands. You guys use your feet. I use my hands. Buddy, don't move. Are you right or left-footed?
Right.
Right-footed. Would you take off your right boot?
It's real, yeah.
Guys, many congratulations. You've done an amazing job, guys. I'll catch you later, man.
did he get that in the boot? More from Jamie in the coming rounds, and plenty more for final score to pull out of the hat as well. This is how you can watch the FA Cup all over the weekend. Let's take you through all the details.
Afternoon, welcome to a brand new final score for the FA Cup. We have 9 first-round matches about to kick off, and we'll be able to show you the goals and incidents as they happen.
It's an equaliser for Portsmouth, 2-2.
And it's all over. Worcester City of the Conference North have beaten League One Coventry City.
It was brilliant. It's exactly what you want to see in the FA Cup.
What an afternoon here on FA Cup final score.
I got a bit overexcited there. Must have been the card in the shoe. Viewers in Scotland will have Sports Scene instead. Elsewhere, you can see these cup goals on FA Cup final score tomorrow. We'll be at Wealdstone FC for Football Focus as they take on Colchester United. Russell Grant putting in an appearance for that one. 7 Premier League games for Match of the Day. A bit later tomorrow. That's because of the Royal British Legion Festival of Remembrance. And all of Saturday's FA Cup goals will be available on the BBC Sport website during the evening for you. Let's turn our attention to Sunday then. Another special final score featuring FA Cup goals as they happen. That's BBC One from 5 to 2. Highlights of every first round game on BBC Two from 6:30. You can keep in touch with every goal as it happens as well by switching over to the BBC Sport website. Match of the Day 2 then is the final football stop on Sunday evening. Right, time to get some more views on this match. If you've seen the documentary on the club, you'll know that the class of '92 watched the game from the far side of the ground over there. And Super Trevor Sinclair is with a former England colleague.
Don't really need to introduce this young man, Nicky, but Nick, great first half, you're in it.
Yeah, it's a good first half. I think the lads did really well. They need to take their chances now, and they'll do well. I'm really proud of the way they played. In these games, you've got to take your chances, and that's what it's all about, Trev.
Will fitness come into it? Because obviously some of the lads have been at work today. Slightly different to the Notts County players. Will that come into it?
I hope not. I think adrenaline might take over. I think they'll keep going to the end. But like I say, it's all about taking your chances when you get them in these games. They've had 2 or 3 chances. If we take them, we're in a good position. But I think we've been a better team for the first half, and hopefully we can kick on the second half now and do well.
And will they keep on playing direct, missing the lines out?
Hopefully, yeah. I think it's a quite clever ploy from the lads, the coaching staff, to say make sure you don't try and play football too much in your own half. Get it in their half and do well and try and score goals.
Do you believe they can do it?
Yeah, I do. I think we get a chance. The next chance we've got to take, and then that'll define the game.
Cheers, Nicky.
Cheers, mate. Thanks.
Thanks for that, Trevor. Nice to hear the views of Nicky Butt, Gary Neville and Paul Scholes here tonight. And also Gareth Seddon, a man whose goals got Salford City promoted last season. But Gareth, people have seen you in the documentary, but you're injured at the moment. The old medial ligament's done you in for a few weeks. Now, because you're not playing, you've not been allowed in the dressing room at half-time. But you know the team are happy with their first-half performance, yeah?
Yeah, I think so. I think apart from a goal, it's been a perfect half. We've pressed high up the pitch. The tempo's been really good. And I think, you couldn't tell which one's the higher team at the minute. You could probably see after about 15-20 minutes, they consciously slowed the game down just to try and get a hold on it. Yeah. Trying to get a few passes together, because I think they were just being overrolled by us. We were, like I say, our tempo and our speed and the passion, I think they were shocked.
You've worked a lot in training this week on defending set pieces, but in actual fact, Notts County haven't had that many chances, and you look so organised. And people who might be watching non-league football for the first time, you're a decent side.
Yeah, we don't just throw a team out there and and just cross our fingers. The manager and the coaching staff have obviously been watching Notts County, and we've worked on our own set pieces as well, and I'm just hoping that we can benefit off one of them chances, really.
We're going to need to.
It's a shot in the dressing room again. Who are the talkers in there, Gareth? We've seen you in the dock having a few too many chats, really, at half-time and full-time, but who will be saying the wise words in there?
I'll be honest with you, it's difficult to get a word in with the managers, but no, all the lads will be geeing each other up. We have literally, I know it's cliche, but we have got 11 leaders in that dressing room, and I think we'll all be excited to try and finish the job tonight.
So those players, Righty, they've got a job to do, but you really feel the crowd can play a part in this second half as well?
I was very surprised in how quiet the crowd are. To be honest, the guy right behind me, he's a bit expletive, if I'm going to be totally honest, but I think that with the way the boys are playing, I think the crowd just need to get behind them a little bit more, keep them going, because I think that's all they need now.
Oh, Gareth, one word, well, one answer. What do they need to do in this second half? Simple as score a goal?
Yeah, I think it's just one goal's going to win it. You know, I think if we get another chance, we've got to shoot early. You know, not let the keeper take a stance. You know, and just catch them off guard, and I think we'll win it 1-0.
Okay, well, as you can see, the teams are out. Let's rejoin our commentary team and get back out there.
Welcome back. Yes, thank you very much indeed. Salford have had their say. They are out first in the second half. What might have been their message, Jermaine, at a half-time in the Salford dressing room?
I think more of the same. I think the management will be absolutely delighted with the level of commitment, the quality that the lads have shown. Just maybe a little bit more quality in that final third in terms of just striking the ball almost. I think they've got through, and the strikes that they've had on goal have not really, you know, had that power that they're going to need to get past Roy Carroll. So more of the same, keep working hard, and hopefully that goal will come.
Let's hope so as far as they're concerned. Notts County wanting to avoid all those kind of headlines tonight. They've only won once in their last 7 FA Cup games. Would you expect something of improvement as far as the League Two club were concerned?
I think, you know, if the manager's not looked at that and thought we're definitely the lesser side within this game today, then he'd be kidding himself. And I think a lot of that has come down to the fact that he maybe have gone with 2 up front. I think in midfield it's been a very tough day, you know, for Allen, Smith and Noble. They've been kind of missed out a lot of the time by the back 4, but because of the 3 in there that are working so hard for Salford, they're just making it very, very hard for Notts County. Somewhere along the line, Notts County are going to have to try and get these fullbacks into the game, because that's the only way they're going to be able to stretch his 3 in midfield for Salford. So maybe that was something that the manager would have spoke about at half-time.
And it will be the visitors, 15th in League Two, in all blue. Notts County to get us underway in the second half. No changes from either manager, incidentally, during the break. Will there be a change in this scoreline? Will there be another FA Cup story to be written? And here's straight away James Poole curling it towards the back post of Webber. Get it! What a start for Salford City! Less than 20 seconds into the second half, and Danny Webber, their top scorer, has his 9th of the season, and it could be a golden goal.
Well, we mentioned Poole in the first half. He was the one that was causing Notts County so many problems. Notts County just switched off at the start of this first half, but Poole picks up that ball, and when he works so hard for it on that right-hand side, you think, go on, get your head up, pick somebody out, and that's exactly what he does. Faces him one-on-one, goes by him like he's not even there. That's the quality that we've been asking for. Put the ball into the right area, and Danny Webber has done that in the leagues throughout the years. Gets himself inside the fullback and does what he does best. Puts the ball in the back of the net. Brilliant.
Exactly 17 seconds into the second period. Danny Webber, who got both goals in the second qualifying round against Curzon Ashton when Salford City were 1-0 down, scores their first ever goal in the first round proper. And what a start to the second half.
Well, we spoke about, you know, what would have been said at half-time, what would he wanted from his players. I think he couldn't have asked for more than that, could he? It's exactly what he wanted. They deserve that, though. They deserve that from the, you know, for the first 45-minute display that they've put in. They've worked hard, and I said they didn't deserve to go in at 0-0. So it's only right. And you know, from Notts County's point of view, they need to wake up now. They need to wake up. They're in a very, very tough FA Cup tie, and they could go out here.
19 goals last season as they climbed into the division above, into step 7 of English football. It's his 9th goal of this season. It's certainly his most important goal in a Salford City shirt. The man who played over 220 times in the top 2 tiers of English football for the likes of Watford and Portsmouth and Sheffield United. A month ahead of his 34th birthday, has the team from the Northern Premier League Premier Division in front. What is the Notts County response? Here's Smith. Hewitt. Stead beaten to it. Cleared by Chris Lynch. Poole, whose part in that goal cannot be underestimated, James Poole.
No, it can't. It was, you know, it was work rate, it was endeavour, it was taking that chance, but also the quality that we've asked for from them. That little bit of more quality in that final third, and he's put it on an absolute plate for Danny Webber. He's never going to miss from there, but it was because of the quality of the delivery in the end. But he's had a very good game so far, James Poole.
Burton and Chris Lynch. No foul on De Silva. Well, understandably, those Notts County players look a little shell-shocked right from the restart.
They are, and they'll be looking at each other now thinking, you know, who's going to step up for us? What are we going to do next? And the management will be probably looking at the bench thinking, what do we do? How do we change this situation? Because it's been coming. They've got themselves to blame. You know, they need to, you know, step up to the plate. They've lost every challenge that they've gone into. Salford have won every second ball, so thoroughly deserved.
The owners know there's an awful long way to go yet. 3 of the 5 part owners, the class of '92. 112 major honours between them. But they'll tell you they get just as excited watching this team as winning any of those medals. Here's Poole. Neatly into the path of Stopford. That's aimed towards Hardcastle. And then Webber had a swing. Forward from Sheehan. And that's a Salford goal kick.
Have you noticed, Steve, by the way, I've gone from Salford to Salford. It's a regional thing, though, you know. I'm from Nottingham, and that's how we pronounce it. So apologies to all my Twitter followers and the local people who know all, but I've corrected it.
Salford took the lead.
Well, again, it's that boy James Poole. Look at that delivery. We call that the corridor of uncertainty. Put that ball in there, nobody knows exactly what to do. Keeper don't know whether to come out. Defenders don't want to touch it. Danny Webber knows exactly what to do with it, and he sticks it in the back of the net to put Salford 1-0 up.
The most experienced player in their team. He never actually played in the Premier League for Manchester United. He did play 3 times in their first team when the likes of Neville, Giggs, Button, Scholes were there.
I played against Danny Webber actually in the FA Youth Cup when he was at United and I was at Forest. And I was at centre-half.
The last minute winner, was it?
No, I was playing centre-half that day and he did score, to be honest with you, but we won the game, thankfully. But he was a handful and he's still making those same runs today that he was making then. I spoke to him before the game and he mentioned, I mean, I'm pushing 34, 35 now and, you know, I'm getting a bit more tired, but I'm not seeing it tonight. He looks like he's got just as much energy as he did then.
Fairy tale not within touching distance yet, but all going according to plan for the managerial duo, who got 2 promotions in 3 years at Ramsbottom, and then got a call out of the blue from Gary Neville on their mobile phone to bring them here to Moor Lane and to have their part in this latest chapter, which could get even better here. Webber. Well, you could see his intention. On that occasion, he didn't have the execution.
But again, he's got time in the box, he's got composure. There's a lot of bodies in there. He was looking to pick someone out, he wanted to pick someone out. You can see him thinking, shifting it, somebody moved, but in the end, I think because it was getting so tight, he thought, I'll have a go here. Who knows, might get a deflection, it might go in. It's all positive from Salford at the minute, it's all positive.
Crowd of 1,400 in here tonight. When they began this FA Cup journey in the first qualifying round against Whitby Town, there were 255, and they were within half an hour of going out of the competition at the very first hurdle. Here in their 7th match, they lead a team 59 places above them in the footballing pyramid. O'Halloran in from Stopforth, off the head of Edwards.
That's the problem there for Notts County, right there. as the ball comes out, yes, it's a tough one, and you might say he can't bring that one down, but even when he hooks it on, no one's there for that second ball to help out, and it's just floods and floods of pressure that keep coming now.
Poole. So FA Youth Cup winner in his Manchester City days, James Poole. Here's Hume, trying to wriggle into space, went down, looked, hopefully, shall we say, towards the referee.
Yeah, it wasn't a penalty.
He's a handful, Jordan Hume. A driver by day.
He pins him. That's what I liked about him. He pins him in the box, and when he turns, I mean, there's nothing in that whatsoever. The defender stays on his feet, he's just stronger. And to be fair to Hume, he wasn't complaining. Got back on his feet and carried him.
Hardcastle. Kyle De Silva has a problem for Notts County. Player released by Crystal Palace in the summer.
I think he's had enough of those hard challenges from Lynch that have been coming in. He's had to take 3 of them. Been very, very tough challenges. One of them must have hurt.
We flinched at 2 of them from up here. Hume forces the throw. To be taken by Steve O'Halloran, who dropped down from Stockport in the summer. And he got the call to go and have a talk about coming here. I understand he was met by Ryan Giggs, which blew him away. The next thing, he was a Salford City player.
Yeah,
I think the hosts have a corner there.
I think that'll get the job done, won't it? Giggsy turns up, can you sign for us? Yeah.
Salford corner goes short. In from the left foot of Poole. Away by Smith. Webber. Neatly done by Burton. Ordle then in ahead of Chris Lynch. And that time he didn't quite time the challenge, the Salford skipper.
Again, but look at the numbers, the amount of bodies getting back into the right positions. Well drilled, looking strong, looking fit. I mean, it is a foul. It was balls given away in a difficult area where Notts County could have broken them, but they've nullified it. They're back in shape now, and problem sorted out. I have to give a mention, by the way, to at the minute, the 3 midfielders in Salford. I've not seen many players run as hard as they are at the minute. We just had Stopforth.
So the Notts County change, Kyle De Silva off, Adam Campbell, who left Newcastle in the summer. He started the first 14 games for Notts County. He's on in his place. He played 5 times for Newcastle's first team, having made his debut at 17, still only 20. He will be on that left-hand side for Notts County. And each of the last 3 seasons have gone out of the FA Cup to teams below them in the footballing pyramid. None as low as Salford City, though, in step 7. Long from Sheehan. Oh, it's neatly done by Hume. He's got a clear sight of goal here. It's still Jordan Hume! Mightily close to a second. Still alive with Webber. And then cleared by Ordle.
That was absolutely brilliant play from Jordan Hume. The quality that he's shown there. A little flick to get himself into that position, the composure to cut inside. So unlucky not to find that top corner, wasn't he? The front 3 have been brilliant throughout the whole game, but look at this. He cuts inside like he's not even there. And that shot, I mean, this is a better angle here when he cuts in. Look how close this is. Oh, agonising, you know, 2-0 up. I mean, he fully deserves that goal as well. It was just fantastic play.
They thought they had doubled their advantage. They're well on top here, Salford City.
They are, but the managers will be fully aware of, you know, we've got 2 strikers here in Notts County that have scored goals, you know, in the Football League, a lot of goals between them. And he'll be worrying that if they get one, they'll put it away. So he'll definitely want that second goal, and he's just come so close to it. And I think that's one of the good things that Salford are continually doing. They're going for that second goal. They're not just, you know, resting on the 1-0 lead that they've got. And I think that's the right thing to do at this minute in the game.
Abora. Good challenge from Dawson. Andy Dawson, who is the elder brother of Craig, who plays in the Premier League for West Bromwich Albion, who I'm sure he'll be watching and rooting for his brother tonight. He, of course, is at Old Trafford tomorrow, just across the way, with West Brom to take on Manchester United.
Well, they've kept a few clean sheets this season, West Bromwich Albion, so hopefully that'll be a good omen for Salford.
Ricardo Muniz, deep in thought, the Notts County manager. His first experience of the FA Cup as it stands will be a bitterly disappointing one. Solid challenge from Howson. Edwards. Here's the substitute Campbell. Nicely flighted in towards McLeod. Calmly dealt with by Steve Howson. Webber.
Brilliant play. Absolutely brilliant play. It's not just launch forward that, you know, it's played at a good height, brought down by Paul, brings Webber into the game. It's a good play.
Here's Hugh. Knew he had O'Halloran on the overlap. Now Sheehan to bring it forward for Notts County, the 29-year-old. Having been the underdog with Bradford at Chelsea last season in the FA Cup. It's a role reversal for Alan Sheehan tonight.
I have to say, I've been very disappointed with Notts County. You know, for a team that trains on a daily basis.
Instead, Noble outnumbered.
They've not been able to put 2 passes together. You know, they should be technically they should be better. They train every single day, and you can't tell the difference here. I mean, Salford could be in the same league.
And they fly forward here. The non-leaguers. Stopforth. He thinks he's got a corner, and the referee agrees.
Again, earlier I was mentioning those midfielders. Those midfield 3, they've not stopped running this whole game, and he's popped up on the left wing, he's popped up just then on the right wing, won corners on both sides to for his team. He looks a bit tired there, hands on hips, but I'm sure he'll suck it in, make sure he gets his energy back and go again, because that's what he's been doing for the game so far.
And it comes from Webber. The central defender Dawson was jumping. McLeod to bring it forward. And the 17-year-old Lewis Hardcastle stopped him in his tracks. No foul by Webber. Poole. Hume waiting in the centre, cleared by Edwards. Poole again. Played over 100 times in the Football League for Hartlepool, James Poole. He's looking for Hardcastle.
He stood out like a sore thumb today, James Poole. Work rate, and you know, even then you always feel that he's the one, if there's going to be anything in terms of quality that this team's going to be looking for, he's the one that's going to provide it. He's putting a real shift, along with all his team today so far. They're putting a great shift, but I just feel like James Poole out of that front 3 has really shone.
He's currently studying a degree at university James Poole is still only 25. No way through for Elliot Hewitt, the Welsh under-21 international at right back for Notts County. His first season from Ipswich, but he might have the opportunity here to launch one of his long throws. It's over Edwards. It came off a Salford head. It was Howson. So it's a Notts County corner.
These are the situations that you'd expect. I think there's a foul in there, by the way. I think there's a foul, but these are the situations you'd expect Salford to have had to deal with in their league.
They deal with that one.
You know,
wild effort from Ordell.
Balls coming in the box constantly, having to deal with long balls, and tonight they've looked comfortable in dealing with long balls, and it was no different there from the long throw.
Oh, Jordan Hume still wondering how he didn't make it 2-0.
Well, he absolutely deserved to. Such a great effort, that. I mean, I don't know how he gets a shot off. He shifts it and hits it so quick and manages to get some great power on it. I just felt like from here it looked like it was going to be going in. We're right behind it, and at that point we think goal. Strikes the bar and comes off. So unlucky.
Well, Notts County have made their second change. Alan Smith's evening is over. Jimmy Spencer, the 23-year-old striker.
Yeah, I think as we mentioned,
in his place, 6'4".
It's a change in formation, I think, Steve. As we mentioned, I think it's been a tough shift in there in the midfield. He has gone up front actually, but it's been a tough shift in midfield for Alan Smith today, and almost through no fault of his own. He's just been getting missed out. You know, defence has been not passing it into midfield, going directly up top, and the ball's been coming back directly into Salford's front too. So it's just in midfield when the game's going like that, it's just a bit disheartening at times.
Poole. Forward from Sheehan. Dawson across with the interception. It's only his fourth game for Salford City tonight. He's had almost 18 months out. He's worked so hard, he's actually had to rebuild his knee after an cruciate knee ligament injury. And he recently got playing again. What a fourth game back for him. Chris Lynch just making sure his boot is back on. Salford free kick.
One thing I would say from Notts County's point of view, I don't know if putting John Stead on the left wing is a great option. You know, throughout his whole career, he's always played up top, hold up man. I mean, here on the left wing, you know, could Salford look at exposing that situation there? He's never really been one to be bombing up and down the wing, and that's no disrespect to John Stead. It's just not the best way to use him.
He was the king of the underdog in this competition last season. Here's Webber, who scored this season. Chance again. Denied on that occasion by Roy Carroll.
Again, it's those strikers linking up. They seem to always know where each other are. We saw in an early little exchange, James Poole chesting it down to Webber. This time it was the flick on from James Poole to Webber. They've really got a good connection, those two.
Another tremendous challenge from Lynch. Hardcastle into Poole. Now Campbell for Notts County. Oh, and Howson hit that. The goalkeeper's got to get there. And Howson magnificently keeps it out.
Wow.
Steve Howson denying the equaliser for Notts County.
Well, there was a point right here where the goalkeeper's coming out and you're thinking, stay on your line. It's a recipe for disaster, but that is unbelievable. He stays with it, chases it down.
It's Becker from Spencer, and then Edwards. And then hammered away by Jordan Hume. Well, how important could that moment be from Steve Howson, the 30-year-old central defender, who's being required again here and wins it in the air.
We were talking at the other end about the quality and the goal scored from Danny Webber and how important that is. I mean, that's just as good as a goal. It's just as good as a goal. It's brilliant play from Howson.
Abora. Neatly done by him. Here's Noble. Sheehan. Looking for the substitute, Spencer. And that's a Notts County corner.
You know why it's so good as well, Steve, is because a lot of the time when that situation happens, the natural reaction in a lot of players is to give up, is to say, oh no, mistake's been made and we're not going to make it, it's 1-1. Not at one point did that enter his mind. He was always on it.
That was drilled in at Campbell. What a challenge again, this time by Burton. No way through for Hardcastle. Well, Salford are making their first change. And it is going to be their goal scorer, Danny Webber, who departs. Richie Allen, the 29-year-old community coach, is going to replace him. He got the extra time winner in the third qualifying round against Bradford Park Avenue. Another player who cost money last season from AFC Fylde. 6 goals in 13 games this season for Richie Allen.
Well, Danny Webber's been absolutely brilliant today, and he deserves that little rest he's got. I mean, for me, he's shown that level of quality that Salford have needed at times. You can tell that he's come down a few leagues to play. You know, he's definitely... Here's that opportunity again. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. When he doesn't switch off there, a lot of players would have said that's a goal, but he's saying no. I mean, he could have made better contact with that, but... Oh, I mean... That is inches away, and brilliant, brilliant play.
That's aimed towards Poole. Roy Carroll came out. He came out very effectively. He was caught there as well, inadvertently, the Notts County goalkeeper.
It's brave.
He had to get there.
It's brave from Roy Carroll, this. He did have to get there. I mean, James Poole's got every right to go for it. You know, the ball's there to be won, but I think he does catch Roy Carroll late on the leg. We'll have a look here, but he's got every right to go for this, James Poole. But yeah, I mean, he's caught his standing leg, and they can be sore, them ones, when you clash knees. It's committed play from both players. Look, I mean, he has to go for it. Roy Carroll does brilliantly for his defence, because the defence is well out of it. James Poole's in one-on-one here. Thankfully for Notts County, Roy Carroll's on top of the situation.
And the captain is back on his feet. Before Danny Webber departed, Roy Carroll denied him a second goal.
He's made a couple of saves today, and he's had to, because Salford have been at it. Gets his angles right. It's a tough one for Danny Webber, to get that across the goal, but good link-up play between the front two. You expect Roy Carroll to be saving that. Like I said, he got his angles right and stopped it.
No way through for McLeod. Poole. Time is of the essence for Notts County. Inside the last 20 minutes, Abora. Super run from him. Still Abora. Salford bodies in the way. Notts County corner.
Notts County trying to come into the game now. It was a good run from Abora. No one was wanting to commit that tackle as soon as he got in the box. Obviously, he got a little bit nervy, thinking, is anyone going to dive in?
Deeper corner. Kept in by Spencer. And then cleared by Lewis Hardcastle. What a mature performance from that 17-year-old.
He's been fantastic. You know, we mentioned that he's come down. He's on loan from Blackburn Academy, young lad. And, you know, I think what stands out for me is what I mentioned before, is that he wasn't just happy just sitting with the luxuries of being at the lovely Blackburn training ground, playing on lovely pitches. He's coming here to learn the game. It's an education. And this will be a huge, huge part of that he'll be able to use in years to come.
The The owners looking more apprehensive. This is Richie Allen up against Edwards. Looking for some support, the substitute. Oh, and he's beaten all three of them. Allen again. Oh, what a goal! Richie Allen, the substitute, has doubled Salford City's advantage. What an impact from the 29-year-old. And that second round is within touching distance from the team in level 7 of English football.
Goal of the season. Give him the trophy now. That was absolutely phenomenal. I mean, at one point here you think, okay, the chance has gone. Brilliant from you, like shifting your defender, you're working your defender, but get that ball in the box if you can. And now you're thinking, well, you're banging trouble, you need some support. He's the only one who knows what's going on. Look at that for a turn. Pops it in, gets it back. What a finish that is in the bottom corner. Salford 2. That's counting.
Well, I mentioned how important he was in getting into the first round. An extra time winner in the third qualifying round against Bradford Park Avenue. He's been on this pitch less than 4 minutes. What a telling contribution. Salford City 2, Notts County 0.
Look at them celebrating. I mean, that's why they bought the club. That's exactly why they bought this club. For things like that. It's not... We saw the business side on the show, but it's for the love of the game. Look at the management, everyone involved. That was a special moment.
Notts County looking for an immediate reply. Terrific block from Howson. Abora. Here's Noble. In towards Stead. When he didn't get the last touch, it was Chris Lynch again throwing himself in there.
Can't tell you how well Lynch has done there. I mean, he's used all his experience here, Lynch, because he's on the wrong side of him, but he knows he's got to get some form of contact on him to stop it, so he makes that a lot more difficult for John Stead to get any contact on.
Well, it's now or never for Notts County to try and rescue this. Abora's cross, Spencer's header is well wide. And there, 400 supporters behind that goal, looking on in disbelief at the moment.
And rightly so, and rightly so. I mean, it's been a poor display, from the league side. I don't remember one real bit of quality that they've shown me today, or anybody in that Notts County stand. So they're well within their rights to feel disappointed with what the team's put on today. It's just, it's not been good enough. He'll be definitely looking to make another change because he's got 15 minutes now to have an impact on this game.
Ricardo Maniz there talking to his assistant Dave Kevin. Just one win in 7 FA Cup games. The worst possible script for the League 2 team is unfolding here. But you cannot take anything away from Salford City and their performance.
You can't. I think that's the that's the main thing. Usually in these big scalps, it's down to bad pitches, bad weather.
Another courageous challenge there.
A bit of luck here and there. Sorry, Steve, a bit of luck here and there. But today it's come down to, at the minute, Salford just being the better side.
Long from Hewitt. Campbell couldn't bring it under control. Halloran's clearance, Notts County corner. I saw their team 6 years ago knocked out of this competition by Kettering, who were then in the conference. That was Ordle, so too was that. Another corner.
Important moments these are now for Salford. These managers will be thinking on the sideline, come on, get through these next 5 minutes, because those last 10 minutes are going to be tough if they nick a goal here, Notts County.
Deeper one this time. Away by Hugh. Handball against Stanley Abora.
A mobile phone has been handed into lost property. If you've lost your mobile phone, could you please check the bar? Thank you.
A reminder, huge weekend of FA Cup action across the BBC. FA Cup final score on Sunday for you. 9 games, 155. BBC One, the goals as they go in, and then all the highlights from 6:30 on BBC Two. And the FA Cup draw is also live for you, 7 o'clock on Monday, and that is here on BBC Two. First action of the first round, and it looks as though the FA Cup isn't going to disappoint yet again.
Definitely not. I mean, this has been a fantastic game for us all to watch. The spirit of the FA Cup is live and well here at Moor Lane tonight, I know that. The tackles that we've seen, the quality of the goals that we've seen, it's been a brilliant evening so far.
Here's Noble. Burton in the way. They've defended so resolutely as well, Salford City.
Yeah, they have. It's important that they don't start dropping too deep, though. It's too early to be going into these situations. I know they must be tired, but they need to try and maintain the pressure on that Notts County midfield.
Well, James Poole has a problem here.
I think he's been the best player for Salford tonight for me. I mean, it's difficult to really single someone out at the minute because they've all been fantastic, but hopefully he's not hurt too much. I think it's just a spot of cramp because of the amount of hard work that he's put in today. He's put in a real shift along with Webber when he was on, and Hume and the rest of them, obviously, but that cramp can hurt when it kicks in, and it looks like a heavy pitch tonight, so I'm sure they'll want him to stay on, but if he has to come off, then hopefully the guy that's coming on will be right and ready.
The one who's coming on is a fitness instructor, another one with Football League experience, and the last man to come on was Richie Allen. What an entrance.
Oh wow, and what a view that is to watch it. I mean, I hope his friends at home have got it on record, because that'll be one that he can savour forever. That bit of skill there is just brilliant. And let us the 1-2, the link-up play as well. I mean, it's good play all round, you know, from Hume to just post up in that situation there and say, give it to me, I'll give it you back. And then the finish is to top it all off.
He's renowned for his goals. He got 25 of them in all competitions for AFC Fylde last season. That's what prompted Salford to secure his services. The most memorable goal that Richie Allen has scored today. James Poole, whose goal beat Southport in the 4th qualifying round, is going to depart. So here comes Joe Maswali, who played for Morecambe in the Football League last season, over 30 appearances. Phoned Salford City up in the summer and asked for a trial. They gave him one, and the Zambian-born player was signed up. The 22-year-old.
Well, that's the kind of attitude that you want.
Long throw from Hewitt. Terrific defending, O'Halloran.
It's brilliant, isn't it? They just get up, carry on with the game. Good tackle, lad. Move on.
Hewitt again with the long throw towards that near post. Salford allowed it to bounce. Halloran again. Back from Abora. Goalkeeper backpedaled. So many bodies back there. And cleared in the end by Lynch. Another Notts County corner.
Yeah, they're hanging on a little bit here now, Salford. These balls keep coming in the box. I mean, it's only a matter of time before one drops to a Notts County player in a simple position and he sticks it away. They need to somehow try and get out of this pattern of play and get the ball back up into the attacking third.
Well, Hewitt is departing for Notts County. Julian Jenner, Dutchman, who arrived in the summer after 3 seasons in Hungary, 31 years of age. And the last throw of the dice from Ricardo Muniz and Notts County. Lynch just being spoken to by Andy Madley, the referee, and McLeod.
He's done well, the referee, today. There's a lot of bodies in there, a lot of bodies, and a lot happening.
That's an inviting one towards Stead, who got a touch. Back in from Spencer. Lynch with a decent punch, O'Halloran with the clearance. ticking away from Notts County.
That was Stopforth, by the way, closing down the goalkeeper there, and he's playing centre midfield. I mean, he's not stopped all day either.
Long from Sheehan. Foul on Andy Dawson. And there's another FA Cup story, Jermaine. Andy Dawson was mentioning, been out for 18 months, worked so hard, rebuilt his knee. Just his 4th game for Salford tonight.
Yep. And it's an injury that obviously I know a little bit too well as well, and it's you know, he must have some character to be in that situation, rebuilding his knee, working hard day in, day out, and
I'll tell you where he works day in, day out, the Inland Revenue.
Oh well, maybe not a favourite
nice
amongst the few then. Yeah, I'd be very nice to him. Better give him man of the match.
Well, that's only 4 or 5 minutes away. Notts County, the world's oldest club to still be playing professionally, on the verge of being knocked out by the semi-professionals from the Northern Premier League Premier Division. Cleared by Howson. Then O'Halloran. Spencer. Abora. It's too strong into McLeod. You have to say we picked out Stead and McLeod at the beginning of the game with their record and their experience in the league. Salford City have marked the man of the game.
Well, you know, a lot of that has come down to Dawson and Howson. They've been absolutely, you know, brilliant. Everything that's came into the box, they've headed away. I think in midfield they've been solid and not allowed any balls to come into their feet where they can cause damage as well. You know, just collectively, just then, you know, we had Hume at left back clearing the ball. I think, you know, the management have been clever now, dropping, you know, the attacking plays into a midfield position. Look, every time that ball comes into the box, there's always an answer to get it away.
And again, this time from Dawson. Abora. Every Salford City player back inside their own half. In from Jenner. Too strong for McLeod. And then cleared by Stopforth.
That's what surprised me most about Notts County. You know, these are professional players. At some stage you think, well, that's not working. Let's find another way. Let's try and get in behind the fullbacks. But they haven't. They just keep knocking on the same door and getting the same answer.
In it goes again. Dawson's there again. Hardcastle. Swally couldn't get there. Ran away from Wardle, and this is running away from Notts County. And they still can't celebrate, they still can't relax. 20 months since buying this club. And just 10 months into installing that managerial duo. They were telling me earlier in the week they lost their first game in charge 5-0. They weren't sure whether it was going to work at Ramsbottom. This is their 7th season. This will be their greatest moment too. Mike Edwards for Notts County. Up towards Spencer. He's beaten to it by Dawson. This is McLeod. And that's a goal kick. Brave defending once again.
They've been absolutely solid, the both of them. Anytime there's been any trouble coming down either side, they've covered each other really well. They've got each other's backs. You can see them there, patting each other on the back, saying well done. And they deserve that. They absolutely deserved it. They've been absolutely outstanding for Salford tonight.
Notts County free kick. Good pressure from Allen, in from Abora. Oh, Lynch lost it. And prevented the corner though. I'll tell you what, Jermaine, when you look at the scoreline now, 2-0, and you remember that goal-saving clearance at 1-0, what an important moment that was.
Well, it was a complete game changer. You know, and Notts County didn't deserve that bit a lot, but if that goes in, you can almost guarantee that the pendulum swings the other way into Notts County's favour, and it will have done so. That clearance at that particular point in the game, the importance of it was there for us all to see.
Forward from Housen. Abora. Look at the pressure on Abora again.
Absolutely. You know, the work rate that he's putting in midfield as well, Stockforth. Non-stop running.
Spencer trying to get to that. Off the head of McLeod. Campbell. This is Noble. Tried the curling effort. Liam Noble. So, as we head into the 90th minute, time for Jermaine Genus's man of the match.
Well, unfortunately, I can't give it to the whole team. I'd love to just give the whole team men of the match because they've been phenomenal, Salford. And you could go through the side, you know, the two centre-halves have been brilliant. But James Paul, he's the man that really stood out for me tonight. I think in the first half, he constantly caused problems. He created chances for Webber and for his friend Hume as well. But he got the assist for the first goal. And he was just a thorn in Notts County's side throughout the whole game until he eventually went off with cramp because of how hard he worked. So, yeah, James Paul, man of the match for me.
Tunji Moses, the son of the former Manchester United and West Brom player Remy, is going to get a brief taste of the FA Cup first round. Next time the ball goes out of play, here's Allen. And he's got a free kick for Salford City. What an inspired substitution that was.
Well, they've played it to perfection, to be fair, the management today. They've absolutely played it to perfection. At the right times, they've told the team to sit off. They went at Notts County. They didn't sit and kind of wait to see what happened. They've been brilliant, you know, the management tonight in their management of this particular game, and obviously the players.
Short to Allen. Hume. Got up by Jenner. Abora. Halloran again. Using his experience to good effect. 4 minutes of stoppage time. 4 minutes before the Salford City party can begin. This is the little altercation down below us between Jenner and Hume, all a little unnecessary. Roy Carroll has sprinted right out of his goal to get involved as well.
That's the last thing that Notts County need. 2-0 down. You don't want discipline problems as well. Just get on with the game.
And that's what happened. Jenner with the clearance, and then one of the supporters,
that's unacceptable as well,
stupidly did that. So Tunji Moses to come on. Lewis Hardcastle, what a night for the 17-year-old.
Well, I spoke about the education that he's going through now at Salford City, rather than being at Blackburn in the comforts of playing youth team football. Completely deserves this round of applause from the Salford City fans. this is a night that he's not going to forget. And like I said, he'll be able to take this now throughout his career and learn from nights like this against a league team. So, brilliant decision for him to stay. I'm sure the management are delighted and deserves all those hugs and applause that he's getting.
Another terrific header from Dawson, and then cleared by Chris Lynch. Salford will never have seen a party quite like this. In the class of 92 could be digging deep in their pockets again. Here's Maswali. He might fancy a third.
Fair play, fair play. He's very unlucky. You could just feel that his legs were dying on him a little bit as he was breaking through. But he had a dig, you know, there's only a minute left, he might as well.
Lynch got caught in the face there. Final minute of stoppage time. McLeod. Campbell for Notts County. Hammered clear by Chris Lynch. Back from Noble, and that just about sums up Notts County's evening.
It completely does, and I can tell you from good experience that when you're 2-0 up and someone does that on the opposing side, there's no better sight. You think, go on mate, you try and hit that. You try and hit that coming out of the sky when we're 2-0 up, we'll take that all day, and they'll be absolutely delighted now just to run down the clock and seal this historic win for Salford City.
But this is Stead. His FA Cup journey will be coming to an abrupt halt at round one, unlike last season. Here's Maswali, final few seconds now. They're all set. Notts County throw. A magical moment of history. Wherever this Salford City story takes them, this is a chapter they will never, ever forget. And the FA Cup has provided it yet again. The team who had never even been in the fourth qualifying round of the FA Cup before this season, the side from level 7 of the footballing pyramid, are through to the second round, and they've knocked out the team 59 places above them. The world's oldest club to still be playing professionally have been dumped out by the semi-professionals of Salford City.
Well, I was speaking to Nicky Butt before the game, and he did say to me that they fancied it today and that he fancied the win today, and I can see why now. I can see why. There'll be a lot of teams looking at the next FA Cup draw thinking, I'm not sure I want to go there. It's a brilliant performance from Salford all round, and they thoroughly deserve this little pitch invasion that they're getting now and the applause from the crowd. It's brilliant all round. Great performance from Salford City.
What a night. It's certainly one they will never forget. The Salford City party can officially begin. Salford City 2, Notts County 0.
Amazing stuff. Well, Warrington set the tone in the last season's FA Cup, and Salford City have done it tonight. Let's bring in two of the owners who join us here live after the game. We've got Nicky Butt and Gary Neville. Nicky, you said at half-time that you thought you were playing well. 2 goals in the second half, and you're into the second round of the FA Cup.
Yeah, it's amazing, really. I mean, this is just fantastic for the lads. I thought they were the best team, better team in the day, and they took the chances, so we got a reward. It's amazing for all the fans and the players.
Gary, you told us beforehand that you weren't nervous. You had no reason to be nervous.
No, I, to be honest with you, I just thought it was a bonus being here, but I thought we were the better team, and unbelievable effort. I thought it was brilliant, absolutely amazing that tonight.
Gal, did you think at any stage that Notts County would have been as poor as they were? Was you expecting a bit more from County?
No, that goal line clearance was a big moment though.
Yeah, it was.
The one where he cleared it off the line, but they didn't play well. But with respect to them, that wasn't easy for any club tonight to come here. Our lads were unbelievable.
Nicky, you've had big plans for this club. In fact, before we talk about those big plans, let's bring in your goal scorers, Danny Webber and Richie Allen. Danny, let's grab a quick word with you. In fact, Trevor, you said to Danny at half-time, you said, go on there and score a goal. Danny, you're live on the BBC. Danny Webber, hello.
Sorry.
Trevor said, get on there and score a goal. Talk to us about the start of that second half.
He did, as we were coming out, I think, we were excited. And, we wanted to get them on the back foot a little bit. So, when it broke to Pooley, Trevor did say get down the outside of him, so managed to get down the outside and scuff it in. So.
Are you giving the full credit to Trevor Sinclair?
Not all
Don't
of it.
give it. No way, Dan. No way.
Not all of it. I'm taking some of it, but no, the lads have put in a great shift tonight from front to back. And Richie, the man's come on and done a bit of magic as well to see.
What a goal.
Brilliant
Let's
goal.
have a look at the Webber goal then. Let's show you this, Danny, because this was a goal that came in the first minute of the second half. Danny, talk us through it.
Yeah, I think I just thought I'd peel off around the back. I saw he looked over his shoulder and then didn't see me. And I thought, saw Pooley getting there, and I thought I'd just, be there, 2 yards out.
You've got to say as well, to be honest, Pooley done fantastically for him. Defender's the wrong side of Danny. To be honest, what Danny's done there is kept the defender away from him. So all he needed there was Pooley to put in a decent ball, and he's done it, and there's no way the defender could stop that. It's a perfect time to score. Perfect.
Sniffed it out.
OK, that was an important goal, but the other fellow we've got with us here scored a pretty decent one. Richie Allen, when you came on, 68th minute, talk us through what your thoughts were when you came on the pitch.
Well, to be honest, I just came on and thought if we can still win the game, but if I can come on and score a goal and make a difference, then I'm really happy.
At one stage there, was you thinking, I thought that you held on to it too long? I thought you held on to it.
In the corner, I've still got hold of the ball and I'm running away with it, and I'm thinking I'm losing control of the ball here, but I keep my composure, and then
I'm thinking to myself, someone's got to back him up now, and then this bit comes up,
and then I do this,
covering every blade of grass.
That's awesome.
Skill.
That's awesome.
It basically took the game by the scruff of the neck and put it to bed.
Tried my best.
Dream stuff.
Definitely, mate.
I said to Wrighty when you came out, I said, I've seen you play at Field. I said, he can play, have a look at him. And you did that within 2 minutes.
Absolutely
not bad.
Brilliant.
Not bad.
Well,
Danny, can you put this victory into perspective for us? How important is it for the club, for this set of players, for the management, and for the fans who are celebrating behind us tonight?
I think you can see how happy everybody is. I think the whole community's come out tonight and supported us, and we're grateful for that. But just to be in the next round, having played a League 2 team, everyone's delighted. So we'll enjoy this.
I know it's about goals, and goals win games, but we've got to talk about that save off the line from House, and we'll speak to the two managers about this. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on, Anthony Johnson and Bernard Morley. These two guys have scored the goals, but Anthony, the clear off the line from Howson, that's as crucial as the goals, isn't it?
Unbelievable clearance. I thought it was his fault to start with, but for someone like him to get that with his weight he's carrying and get it off the line was amazing. Yeah, brilliant. Like you say, it's important as the goal.
And put this into perspective for us tonight. I know this club have got huge plans. We've spoken to Gary Neville, Nicky Butt, Paul Scholes is here tonight as well. But it's nights like this which really make a club, aren't they?
Absolutely. It's once in a lifetime stuff. We've come up against a top draw side and we battered them. In all honesty, I don't want to sound disrespectful to them, but we've been excellent. I said to Ian before the game, we'll match them for work rate. That's one thing we'll do. We'll match them for work rate, and the effort they've put in there is absolutely staggering.
Bernard, did you have a feeling before the game when you looked into the players' eyes that this could be a night when the mentality would be right and they could deliver a performance like that?
Yeah, we always knew that if we was right and our concentration levels was right, we'll match anybody. And to be honest with you, I like what Anthony's just said. I thought we matched them for 90 minutes and we was the better side. It is a cup killing, but I think it's well deserved. I don't think they put us under pressure at all in the game. I thought the back five was immense from start to finish.
Awesome.
The midfield three won the battle, and obviously a bit of magic up top won us the game.
Gentlemen, enjoy the rest of the night. Go on, get out there. Congratulations on it.
Congratulations, Tom.
Ian, will we talk about this as one of the great cup upsets, even though they were so comfortable tonight?
I think it's an upset, of course, but I think, like I say, you have to say with Salford, they've got to get all the credit. I thought right from the start, I thought that there might have been a problem with fitness. Nothing of the sort. They won all the second balls. They were aggressive from the start to the finish, and they deserved it, really.
Anyone who came to watch that game would definitely have thought Salford were the league team.
Here they are enjoying themselves in the dressing room.
They deserved it. They were superb, and you talk about the fitness. Some of these lads have been at work today. It's an absolute brilliant for non-league football. Credit to themselves.
There they go, look at that. And they can enjoy themselves, and why not? They're into the second round, the first team in into the second round of the FA Cup.
And it's the first time they've got to this. It's the first time they've got to this round. So for them to get through, and you know what, with that kind of attitude and that kind of willingness and that kind of passion in a team, to a man, it's refreshing to see. I haven't seen it for a long time, to be honest.
And they were so comfortable as well. You know, it's not like it was a fluke and they were under the cosh all the time. They were the better team. They created way more chances than Notts County, who, for me, were disappointing. And they deserved the win thoroughly.
We will have some reaction from Notts County. Ricardo Moniz will get that on the website for you. But tonight is all about Salford.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for hosting us tonight. It's been a very warm welcome. Just a reminder for you all of where you can watch the rest of the FA Cup coverage this weekend, because there's plenty more football on the way for you. We have 9 football shows in total. Football Focus live from Wealdstone tomorrow. This lot have set the tone, haven't they? I wonder if they can do it. Don't forget you can watch all the FA Cup goals on Final Score. Catch up with everything on the website as well. And all the Premier League covered by Match of the Day. And then another busy Sunday to come. Final Score is back with more live action. There's highlights from every game this weekend. That starts at 6:30, and Match of the Day 2 will finish the weekend off very nicely. And if that's not enough, don't forget the draw for round 2, Monday night, 7 o'clock on BBC 2. Do you know what? There's one team in it already. They are Salford City. The FA Cup has delivered again. Good night.
59 places between them. One game, one night. Salford didn't clear it. Good effort. Here's a chance for Hume. He's round the goalkeeper. James Poole curling it towards the back post on Webber. Less than 20 seconds into the second half. It's still Jordan Hume. Mightily close. The goalkeeper's got to get there.